Every year, I think that we have a conversation about the Buccaneers' special teams play, and it's definitely been spotty in years past in certain things, such as punt coverage, kickoff coverage. People haven't liked the punting situation or the return situation the past couple of years. But I am here to tell you today that the Bucs special teams is actually playing really, really good. Now, I want to preface this by saying this, yes, the kickoff coverage and the punt coverage still isn't the best in the league, but it's around league average, which I feel is certainly better than what we have seen in seasons past. But the three main guys that have been playing really well for the Buccaneers special teams unit are kicker Ryan Suckup, punter Jake Camarda, and this is going to be a little bit controversial to some people, returner Jalen Darden. And we're going to talk about why. So, firstly, in the case of rookie punter Jake Camarda, a lot of people were critical about this draft pick whenever it was made. They took Jake Camarda in the fourth round of this recent NFL draft. People were losing their minds about this. And yes, while Jake Camarda's kickoff touchback percentage is lower than former Buccaneers punter Bradley Pinion. His kickoff game, hasn't necessarily been the best in the world in terms of getting touchbacks and whatnot. That's not something you always necessarily want in a good kickoff from your kickoff guy. So that's definitely something to consider in that mix as well. Again, in terms of kickoff coverage, the Buccaneers are around the middle of the league, if not a little bit above league average. So I feel like that is a good statistic for Camarda. But going even deeper into it, the past couple of weeks, Jake Camarda has been fantastic, and he actually now holds the third longest punt in the NFL this season with a 74-yard punt. I don't think he's going to get the longest punt for this season. That actually is another former Buccaneers punter, Brian Anger, who netted himself an 83-yard punt, I believe, for the Cowboys. So that may be out of Camarda's range for the remainder of this season, but you never know. Jake Camarda has been punting absolute cannonballs of punts, and it has been an excellent thing to see. And Jake Camarda is actually seventh in average yards per punt in the NFL for this season. So it's not just one or two punts that Camarda has been booming. He is very consistent. Again, he's in the top 10, almost the top 5 in terms of average punt yards per punt this season. So it's very consistent. It's been very good. And this is even with Camarda struggling a little bit to start off the year. He has rebounded in such a big way and has been an excellent thing to see. The punting game has looked very, very good now with Camarda at the helm. And, moving on to kicker Ryan Suckup. Everybody loves Ryan Suckup, right? He has been so consistent for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the past couple of seasons. He helped them win a Super Bowl. It's just been awesome to see. But I would say this year is possibly shaping up to be Ryan Succup's best season with the Bucs. Yes, even better than the Super Bowl season back in 2020, at least in terms of statistics. Of course, nothing can beat clutch kicks in playoff games. Maybe Suckup will have the opportunity to do that again this season. But so far this year, Ryan Suckup has an 88% field goal percentage and 100% extra point percentage. That's very good. It is really, I think, the best metrics we've seen for Suckup so far in his career with the Buccaneers. And I know we still have a lot of games left to be played, but Succup's been fantastic so far this year. He has made pretty much every single kick that you could ask of the guy, and he is Mr. Consistent right now. I know a lot of people typically call Mike Evans Mr. Consistent, and he still holds that moniker, but definitely Ryan Suckup deserves that name as well, that nickname, because he's been absolutely electric. He has been amazing so far this year. He is consistently getting points for the Buccaneers. Of course, you want to see more touchdowns than field goals, but it is nice to know that with Suckup out there, you still have a pretty darn good chance to get some points up on the board. In fact, an 88% chance to get points up on the board. And, to make things even better, he's actually been hitting from past his range pretty well so far this year. He's missed maybe one kick here or there, but aside from that, he's hitting pretty consistently from past his range. 45 plus, maybe even 50 plus. Suckup has looked very good in those long-range kicking situations. He's been an absolute beast this year. But I know the one everybody's going to be questioning. James, what the heck are you talking about with Jalen Darden? He is still not a good returner. I would dispute that. I think that Jalen Darden has shown leaps and bounds of improvement from last season to this season, and I'm going to explain why with statistics. Did you guys know that Jalen Darden is currently 7th in the NFL for return yards per punt? 7th in the NFL, and that's with a lot of very, very good returners in that mix as well. Jalen Darden is 7th right now, and he currently has the 13th longest punt return this season, which I believe was a 24-yard return. And one of the biggest things I think that people aren't talking about too much is I know that last year Jalen Darden struggled mightily. He was falling down on seemingly every punt return under the sun. And his, yards per, his yard average per punt return was not very good. It just wasn't a great situation to see. I think that Darden has improved dramatically. Number one, he's not falling down anymore. I know some people may say, oh, but he just keeps on going out of bounds. That can be a very smart play as a returner. You're in open field, you're going to be getting tackled by 2 or 3 guys, something along those lines. Your blockers might not always be there. In the case of Jalen Darden, his blockers haven't always been there this season. So sometimes going out of bounds after you get a few yards, a handful of yards, can be a smart move for a returner, at least in my opinion. And I think that we've seen this savviness and this just really improvement from Darden in a lot of different ways, at least in terms of, NFL statistics. He's one of the top half returners in the league so far this year, and I think that he really has shown a lot of improvement, and he can be classified as a decent returner so far this year. Again, in my opinion, you could possibly disagree with that. And even Rachaad White has had some good moments. I know he had a really crucial fumble recently for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a few games ago. He had a, fumble on a kickoff return to start off a game. That was not great for the Bucs, but White has still been able to showcase some good abilities as a returner. Of course, he makes a lot of plays as a running back as well, but overall, I've been highly impressed with what the Buccaneers special teams unit has been able to output so far this year. Their punting has improved dramatically, their kicking has stayed very consistent, and their punt returning, again in my opinion, has improved dramatically as well. Very excited to see all 3 of these guys continue out this season. These 3 guys being Jake Camarda, Ryan Succop, and Jalen Darden. I think they can continue to have solid play throughout the remainder of the second half of the season. And if they are able to do so, could go a very long way because special teams does matter. And it definitely needs to be talked about whenever there are positive things happening, which is why I made this video today. What do you guys think about the Buccaneers special teams unit? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. I'd love to hear it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.